Saturday mornings in the 80s were made for kids. Before streaming and YouTube, and even before cable, there were 3 to 5 channels on TV. That was it. So, on Saturday mornings, they played cartoons for 4 hours straight. Now, most of the cartoons were pretty bad. Anyone remember Laverne and Shirley in the Army? Or, how about this one, Fonz and the Gang? Ugh, pretty bad stuff. But there were some good ones too. Hey, I'm actually going to do another video all about Saturday 80s cartoons, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. Tuned? Get it? I poured myself a bowl of generic cereal from the bag and plopped myself in front of the TV. There was only one thing that could tear me away from the taste of stale cereal in the morning and the glow of brightly colored cartoon goodness, and that was Saturday morning art class. There was actually this art college in my hometown where you could get art classes on Saturdays if you were any good. All you had to do was get accepted through a tryout process. And that tryout process was you had to draw a still life, and then if you showed any skill at all, you got in the class. So my dad and I are waiting at the art school to try out by drawing the still life, and we're in this long hallway, and it's just full of drawings of naked people. I mean, there's just naked people everywhere. Why do they draw naked people? Well, some people think the human body is beautiful. I always thought this answer was hilarious because of the word some people. I guess my dad never thought of the human body as beautiful. So, standing there in this hallway full of naked art was very uncomfortable with my dad. But worse than that was the time my dad took me to see a Superman movie, and for some reason, in the middle of this movie, there was like this really crazy long love scene between Superman and Lois Lane that seemed to go on forever. Yeah, that was worse. That was worse, but this was definitely right up there with it. So the first day of Saturday art class was really cool. We did these prints, and I distinctly remember doing a print of a giant monster attacking a city, and it was a lot of fun. Then we had this like short snack break, and this is where things went a little crazy because they let all 300 kids let loose for snack time in this college campus building, and everyone was running around and playing tag and jumping from the steps and climbing on things, and yeah, it was mass chaos. I don't think these instructors really worked with kids a lot, so it was not like school. I mean, there was no control, and there was definitely way more kids to instructors. I mean, we outnumbered them probably 30 to 1. So eventually, the instructors were able to get us back into our classrooms for part 2. And once we were in there, this grizzled old man came around each class and yelled at us about the dangers of running in horseplay. This place has a lot of sharp objects, things that can hurt you. This is not a playground. If you kids keep screwing around like that, this can happen to you. And I swear he held up his hand to show us a missing finger. A missing finger! This is what happens when you play tag in a building. My overactive imagination raced with all the possible ways a kid loses a finger by playing tag. And it was a terrifying montage of calamities streaming through my brain. That freaked us out pretty good, and after that, snack time was way more calm. So, part 2 of the class is going great, but then the kid next to me really gets into my head. When out of nowhere, he says, "Next week, we have to draw naked people." What? No, we don't. Yeah, my older brother took this class, and he had to do it. And everyone has to take turns being naked, and everyone has to draw you naked. It was as if this kid knew one of my biggest fears. I mean, whenever I had to try on jeans at Kmart, all they had was this flimsy little curtain, and the changing room was like right in the middle of the store. I hated changing in front of people, or even behind a small little flimsy curtain.
Attention customers, we have a person changing in aisle 9 if anyone wants to go over and point and laugh.
As stupid as this sounded, I totally believed him. And now I had to figure out how to get out of next week's class. So began my week of excuses to get out of art class. No way was anyone drawing me naked. Only problem was, none of my stupid excuses seemed to work. My parents were bent on me going to art class. Now you try arguing with my parents to stop doing a class that they paid for in full with a check and no chance of a refund? Ha! Good luck. My parents knew exactly how to cut me off right at the knees. You don't go to art class this Saturday? There'll be no Saturday morning cartoons for you. Do you understand? No cartoons? This just got serious. Well, I hated to do this, but they left me no choice. It was time for me to tell them the truth, the sound explanation for me not wanting to go to class. Once they heard this, they would completely understand. There's no way they would want their child to be drawn naked in front of all those art students. Ha! They're making us draw each other naked next week in class. We have to take off our clothes and pose for all the students. And as I said this out loud and I heard myself, I realized just how stupid this sounded. You ever done that? Like, you start saying something out loud and it just sounds ridiculous? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Where do you come up with these things? A kid in class told me. The worst thing you could say to a parent is that another kid told you something, because that never works. Steve, you can't be that stupid. The teachers would go to jail if they made you take your clothes off. Why do you believe everything you hear? Okay, yeah, that totally made a lot of sense. So, what a sense of relief and a sense of embarrassment at the same time. Man, why do I believe everything I hear? Gosh. Oh, hey. I bet that old man lied about his finger. I mean, how do you lose a finger playing tag? But just to be on the safe side, I'm still not going to play tag inside of a building. You never know. And after that, going to Saturday art class was awesome. I didn't even mind missing my cartoons. And you know what? I can see them again later on in reruns.
Hey Dad, what's a rerun?
Oh, so basically it's real simple. You had to wait until they reran the show on TV again. So that's how they came up with the term rerun. See, there was no way to record or stream your favorite TV shows. You had to wait until they showed them on TV again, and that was called a rerun.
But you're afraid to be naked, but in the cartoon you never wear pants.
Okay, so I'm going to show you something really weird, and that is under this cartoon body is, me. And yeah, I'm wearing pants underneath this cartoon body. So yeah, I'm not naked. It just looks like it on the video.